Right, guys, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I am probably sitting on 20 recorded videos of games that I've just been downloading and playing. Not one of them feels like it's worth making a video over. The gaming right now is pretty dry. I literally played an Only Up clone called Only Down. That's how bad the games have been this month and most of the last 2 months. We still have September's the big one. We got Lies of P, and then after that, it's like we have Call of Duty, which I'm debating getting, and then a lot Fallen, Lords of the Fallen. I keep screwing up that name, but games like that. So I think we do another reaction video. It's been a while since we've done a cheating video. I totally forgot that they made a 5th one at Be Amazed, right? Shout out to Be Amazed because they yelled at me last time. But anyway, yeah, let's just go through some cheaters. Break them down like we did last time, and yeah, see how we do.
According to a survey from trainer software provider Plitch, a staggering 57% of gamers admitted to using cheats.
Okay, but that can mean a lot of things. It depends on what your definition of cheating is. Is it like cheating to me, and you guys tell me if this is right or wrong. Cheating to me is like you're playing against random people and you're trying to get an advantage. Like if I was playing a game with my friends and jokingly I put on cheats that only I had, yeah, I'm using cheats, but I'm not affecting anyone's rank or whatever. So yeah, I think you have to clarify the definition of cheating. Modding, I think people confuse with cheating a lot of times, especially if you're new to mods. So like, let's say you use a mod in Skyrim that gives you unlimited arrows. Is that cheating, or is that just bending the gameplay to be more fun for some reason? So that's, again, definition of cheating to me is you're trying to get an advantage over other people without them knowing. And I don't mean like a win 1v1. I mean like, hey, you got all the way to global elite in CSGO and cheated your way to the top. That's cheating. But playing amongst your friends, I don't know. But that's just my opinion.
Tommy Trewin is a veteran Call of Duty player who, since 2010, has been part of professional teams that have won more than 70 tournament matches. It's fair to say Tommy knows this game well. So, when he was pitted against Mingo Style in the quarterfinals of the 2v2 Warzone Checkmate Gaming Tournament back in 2020, who had a weirdly high kill-to-death ratio of 5.2, Tommy was suspicious. He and his partner Almixand called Mingo Style's gameplay into question and asked him to set up a monitor cam so they could be sure he wasn't using cheats.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Style obliged. But then, in a move of pure idiocy, he exposed himself.
Okay, we're looking on the far right
to see.
No, I didn't, mate. When did I say that?
There it was. Did you see it? We know what that is. If you've seen my other 4 videos or their videos, you know what that is. So yeah, engine owning, this was the big one. This was like the first one for Warzone 2019 or 2020, whatever. This was the real big one that a lot of streamers were using because it works incredibly well. So basically what it does is just, obviously you have a bunch of different cheats as well as different styles of cheats at the top. We won't go through engine owning again. But the scary part about this one is even the free version is, I mean, it does wonders. So if you're paying for it, like you could tell, I think this guy, Sugar his cash on. Yeah, so he must have the free version because all of these are off. The paid for version will probably give you all of these on if you wanted to. But this also does have an on and off switch. So you can make the argument, and we've seen it before, that even though you have it on your computer, you can have it turned off. And as long as you could prove that you had it turned off, you're actually quote unquote okay. You kind of lose a lot of credibility, of course, but yeah, I would not be surprised if more streamers now are using this than anything else, just because it's free and easy. All the other ones are a lot more complicated, like injected cheats or whatever, which again, if you want to know what injected cheats are, we won't go through it, just watch one of the old ones. But nowadays it is getting a little too easy, in my opinion, to be cheating, especially in tournaments, which is wild.
The only thing more frustrating than seeing someone blatantly cheating is watching them stream themselves while blatantly cheating. You know, the ones I'm talking about. Usually Call of Duty streamers whose gameplay has red and yellow boxes around all their opponents. They know that with their chronic lack of talent, the only way to get noticed as a streamer is to openly use these hacks. Otherwise, no one would pay attention to them. That's what a Facebook gaming streamer by the name of Mr. Slazy.
Let me tell you something. I never trust a guy with a star tattoo under his eye. I'm gonna be honest. I've met a lot of guys that have some crazy tattoos on their face, but a star and a single star, I don't know. I don't trust a guy like that. But yeah, a bit smarter. Be Amaze's point. I do think that there is a very well, how do I put this? I think people, and again, this is kind of off topic, but I think people care a little too much about being good than being themselves. If you look at the biggest YouTubers and streamers, it's the ones that, well, nowadays it's the ones that don't even really play video games. But when I look at like a Markiplier or a Jacksepticeye or PewDiePie, for instance, they were never good at games, but they were great personalities. So I think Call of Duty, and I guess you can kind of blame Fortnite for this, people have kind of catered more towards being the best rather than being yourself. And this is a great example for that. And it's like, I'll give you a certain level of respect over other cheaters because you're not even trying to hide it, so you know what you're doing rather than lying to people. But again, I think this was kind of an inevitability when it comes to streamers being told that, oh, you have to be the best at this game or be cheating if you want to be relevant, which I think that kind of goes against everything that streaming and YouTube stands for. But yeah, so this was an inevitability that we would have cheaters constantly streaming them cheating on purpose. Like, I'll tell you, when I'm scrolling through my TikTok feed, the amount of games that are just like live feeds of kids just openly cheating has gotten insane. I will say, it's wild how much kids get away with now.
Mr. Slazy was running his usual gambit of streaming himself, ruining games for other people, just to boost his super fragile ego, when he took out the wrong player. It was someone many of you are probably familiar with.
Oh, he's one of those Sidemen guys, right?
Or Vic, for short. Part of the famous YouTube collective Sidemen.
Dude, my knowledge. So this is pretty much mostly walls, it looks like. He's not really...
Trying to hide it, he's live, and he's got his name in his thing.
Looks like he's really just using walls.
Vic and co. continued to mock Mr. Slazy, encouraging people in-game to report him while laughing at his terrible gameplay and calling out the game developer Activision for such a blatant lack of...
I gotta be careful what I say, but I've been talking to a lot of people who are kind of in this industry of, like, because the first question I asked was, why is the cheating so bad? And they say it's literally the fact that these cheating softwares have gotten so good at what they do that they'd have to tear the game apart and rebuild it. And when you're putting sometimes hundreds of millions of dollars into a game, like just development, I mean, you'd be losing that 100 million if you had to basically start from scratch. So I've gotten to the point where I'll say it on stream, like, oh, Activision, what are we doing? But it's actually at the point where it's like, I can't blame them anymore. You have to start blaming the people that make these cheat engines. So again, it's not, I can't blame these big companies anymore because just the cheats have gotten so good. And I talked to a guy that he's like, he's the kind of guy that could destroy these engine apps, but he doesn't know how to. Like, he's a guy that back like 10 years ago, he was like, I like, these are nothing, but now he's like, I can't get through these. Like, it's insane. But that's just how bad the cheating engines have gotten and how many people are downloading it. Because now there's so many organizations that make these cheating bots that are getting so much money, they have the funds to keep creating these engines that are just getting better and better and better.
PYPYPK. It's not just mainstream games that people cheat on, as players of Crunker know all too well.
Crunker? What the hell's
This
Crunker?
is a first-person shooter like Call of Duty, but with a Roblox aesthetic. Baby's first-person shooter, if you will. And it's not always adults who use cheats, as player and Twitch streamer PYPYPK proved all too well.
Are we about to
Back in
crucify a
2018, this kid had the bright
12-year-old?
idea-
Oh, come on.
Yeah, even with the hacks, he still wasn't very good, which is something the small Crunker community soon picked up on. Footage of PYPYPK streaming his cheats was posted to Crunker's subreddit, where he was lambasted by
This kid has his own subreddit and I
Eventually,
don't?
someone-
Give me 1 second. Come on. Damn it.
It wasn't long before the account had the word hacker branded over it. And
Wow.
PYPYPK quickly disappeared from both Crunker and Twitch.
Oh, you
Well,
know,
kid,
he only had 11 followers too. Oh, that's kind of depressing. You know, he's a young kid. I wouldn't. I guess it's young kids that play this, and of course, give him like a warning. Hey, stop cheating, and if he keeps doing it, like obviously, I mean, then you can ban him. But I mean, do we just crucify a 10-year-old? Like,
The Austin, U.S. Back in 2022, the Austin, U.S. decided to try his
Wolf.
hand at streaming Call of Duty on Twitch. It's a very competitive scene, but his aim was impeccable, and his instinct regarding his opponent's locations
dude, can I tell you
was
something?
incredibly accurate.
I miss Warzone 1 so much. Every time I play Warzone 2, I just want to play Warzone 1.
Several months before the accusations, the Austin, U.S. was midstream and apparently forgot that the world could see his setup. Either oblivious to the ramifications or just straight up dumb, he proceeded to stream himself visiting the cheat site Phantom Overlay. He went to log in, which filled in his details automatically, showing he already had an account with them.
Technically,
before
that's not.
exposing-
Well, hold on. Actually, that's not true because if he's using Google Chrome, it will auto put stuff in. Just so you guys know, but yeah, I mean, this guy must have an account. I'm just saying that sometimes Google will auto populate your username and passwords if you use the same passwords for certain things. So it'll be like, oh, this is a gaming website. This is another gaming website. It's probably the same email and password. So it might just be like a saved thing.
A neat little list of all his previous cheat orders, which totaled
Wow.
some 195
Damn.
euro, about $200. Floby.
Floby.
Random seed Minecraft speedrunning is a very particular type of speedrunning.
Oh,
Unlike
a
most
speed-
games,
I
which
like a
require
good
muscle
speedrunning
memory
cheat.
and refined techniques to get a good time, random seed Minecraft runs require sound logic and an acute mathematical ability, because the map you spawn into is different every time. These are what's known as blind runs, and back in 2021, speedrunner Floby, or Toxic Flow, who'd been speedrunning Minecraft for a few months, suddenly uploaded a video of a blind run with a time of 11 minutes 37 seconds. At the time, this placed Floby's run in the top 10 fastest of all time. Less than 2 months later, they uploaded 3 runs that were all under 15 minutes, which is pretty wild for someone as new to speedrunning as Floby was. This caught the attention of several Minecraft veterans, one of which, 11D Billion, broke down each of Floby's runs and came to one damning conclusion. They had to be cheating. Why? Because Floby's luck was either off
Okay,
the scale
that's what I
or
thought.
they already knew the location.
So, this is what, if you remember, Dream did this same thing, and it's still up for debate if that was true or not. He says that it had to do with mods that he had installed. So, we'll quickly go through it, but basically it's the same thing that happened with Dream. Maybe slightly different, but basically the idea of speedrunning Minecraft is you have to get certain items. I believe it's raw. I don't know Minecraft too well, but there's certain rods that you need from pigmen and something else. But it's based on RNG. So you have certain ratios of getting those items. But what ended up happening in Dream's run and why he got a lot of shit for it was because he was able to manipulate the RNG. So instead of having a 1 in 16 chance, he had like a 1 in 8 chance. And some mods will do that. It sounds like this person knew the answers already, which means that it's not a blind run. And a blind run means that it's a brand new run. All the RNG's new. You don't know where anything is, and you have to figure it out. He probably knew, from what it sounds like, he already knew what the RNG was and where things were. So that's why he made it seem like it was a blind run when it really wasn't. When you have games based on statistics, which Minecraft is heavily based on statistics when you're doing a speedrun, it's very easy to manipulate those numbers without the average person noticing. That's why these Minecraft speedrunners, like the well-known ones, they have this shit down to a science, bro. Like, it's crazy.
Any speedrunner worth their salt would be looking around for a fortress. But Floby makes a beeline in a random direction without looking around or behind them.
Goes right for it,
even
yeah.
once.
So he knew the
Here,
map already.
Lava housing can be seen, which takes precious time to get rid of. Most speedrunners would have just reset the game at this point. But Floby persevered. Because, as 11D Billion pointed out, Floby wasn't improvising. He was working to a plan for a map he'd already run several times.
Right.
But that wasn't the only way he
Interesting.
was caught out.
I didn't know you could do
when
this
you
in Minecraft.
reset in Minecraft, you have to select several options to create your new world. To speed this process up, a macro was built that sped through the process, and the click sound effects it generates are compressed into this. Short but distinct.
What the fuck was
However,
that?
Veteran Minecraft player Ninja Brain
So he probably
noticed
slowed
the
it down?
same macro Floby used on their run sounded like this.
Oh, there's an
Two
extra bump.
clicks.
Dude,
But the macro
dude, Minecraft experts are insane. This is what I mean. You can't get past them with anything. They went by sound. They went by one extra blip, which means that he probably changed something in the world seed. Oh my god. Hey, that... NASA, hire this man. So for those of you that don't know what macros are because you're not on PC, I can make one button do multiple things. So I can tell it to click, like I can take my number pad that's on the right side of my keyboard, and I can say number 5 clicks here, 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 and changes certain things all in one button. So if I add extra slots to that, like extra parts like this guy did, I can do things kind of suspiciously, if you will. So a lot of the problems with original Fortnite was when they did cross-platform, a lot of people complained about the macros that PC players have. So you used to be able to build a 90 in a second because you would just hit the 5 button and it'll build a full skyscraper in Minecraft in seconds, in a second, not even seconds. But yeah, that's what this guy did, and he tried to do it so fast or make it happen so fast that the sound frequencies of like the tapping kind of collided to sound like one, and it just didn't work.
Shiv GTK. To prove they're not cheating, some streamers will set up a monitor cam so that their audience can see their setup and check that there isn't another hidden screen that they're using with the cheats on. This is exactly what popular Call of Duty player Shiv GTK did when he competed in a 2021 Vanguard tournament with a $7,000 prize pool. Both his monitors looked clean, with no obvious hacking menus or red boxes to be seen. But when his team went on to beat professional esports team Optic, everyone began to look at the monitor cam a little more carefully. As they picked apart some suspicious gameplay where Shiv was setting a bomb, they noticed that on the monitor cam, an incredibly tiny white dot could be seen shooting across the screen.
I'm playing this.
Oh, interesting. I do see it, but what is that? So right here is the boat. Right here is the timer for the diffuser. What could that white thing be? Could that be a nameplate over the person in front? Huh, let's see. I'm very curious
Did you
here.
see that? Well, that white dot just so happened to coincide with an enemy player appearing.
So it
around
so
the
it is
corner.
a
That's
nameplate.
a wall hack. One with the settings altered so that the enemy locations are barely visible to the monitor cam, but a wall hack nonetheless. Shiv was swiftly disqualified from the tournament, but he didn't take his punishment well. Instead of silently deleting all his social media and streaming profiles, like any other exposed cheater, Shiv set one last bomb before disappearing. He sent out a tweet naming a long list of other players who he claimed had been cheating too.
Ooh,
Talk
try and
about
take
going
everyone
full
down with you.
scorched. Now, I need your help with this next one because I can't tell if it's a setup or just plain stupid.
Oh, I got you. I'd be amazed. Hire me, dude. As you know, I'm a professional cheat finder. Hey, you know that kid that you yelled at before? I'll take him down with you. I'll show up to his house. I'll beat him up. I got you.
An anonymous viewer sent me a clip of an unnamed Twitch streamer who had his Discord chat application opened. Nicknamed Cause, the Discord user is chatting to DaBaby. Seems legit. While his desktop boasts a couple of questionable apps, including the aptly named Cheat Engine and WeMod.
I don't know.
These are
what
well-known hacklocations, if you will, with each one enabling users to install mods and cheats for different games. And in this Discord call, Cause sends DaBaby a WeMod file before heading into a game of NBA 2K21. DaBaby is also streaming NBA 2K21, so it appears both of them are using or planning to use WeMod to access cheats in a game.
Okay.
A little look at the game Cause is playing brings up a character called twitch.tv/Causeway. Surely this guy isn't dumb enough to have streamed himself sharing cheats with someone else who was also streaming himself receiving those same cheats? If so, is this really the streamer Causeway or someone trying to set him up? Because this is a level of dumb that's so dumb, it's a little difficult to comprehend. Well, Causeway's Twitch channel does boast a few videos where he claims he was permanently banned from the game Roblox. It's not a good look.
So he doesn't play
but
2K.
That's not exactly incriminating. So
Right.
what do you think? Is this streamer actually Causeway, or was someone setting him up? Let me know. down in
My
the
guess
comments
it's
below.
my guess would be it's one of his viewers that wanted to be a piece of shit. My brother used to use my name in Tarkov, and like he would just like we would be playing Rainbow Six Siege, and all of a sudden someone would come in my chat and be like, "I just domed you in Tarkov," and I'm sitting there like, "I'm in the middle of a ranked game in Siege. What do you mean?" So my brother was like, "I thought it would give you publicity." I was like, "Thanks, dude." But yeah, so I think it could be a setup. Again, cheating. I don't know what WeMod is. The only thing you have to be careful of with mods is if it's a mod / cheat thing, you could make the argument, oh, I only used it for mods, not for cheating. That's where you get to that gray line. I would assume that this is just someone that wanted to take down or whatever, affect this streamer, and otherwise, like, why would you record it? But man, I don't know. That is a tough one because there's not enough evidence to do anything. I mean, we've definitely had a bunch of 2K cheaters. I'd have to see more footage of the guy actually cheating because again, the Wii mod could be like, oh, hey, here's the mod for Minecraft, but let's play some 2K, right? So that's another factor. I don't know. That is an interesting one. I don't know why you would do that, but again, when you have thousands of viewers, sometimes even hundreds of thousands of viewers, I'm sure there's someone in there that's going to try and screw you over.
Back in 2021, India's the Esports Club Invitational welcomed teams to play Valorant for a prize pool of 300,000 rupees, some $4,000 at the time. It attracted teams from all over the nation, with more than 6,000 fans watching the stream at its peak. However, after the first round of quarterfinals, a hammer was brought down on Team Paratroopers.
He looks so guilty,
dude. X-Hade had suddenly received a permanent ban from Valorant. Initially, X-Hade claimed this must have been a mistake, that it must just be a glitch. Fans supported him. His team reached out to Valorant's developer Riot Games for clarification.
Interesting.
And Paratroopers were allowed to continue competing in the tournament with a substitute. Although, they lost their very next match. Talk about foreshadowing. X-Hade continued to deny all cheating allegations, but then on a streamed Discord call with the Paratroopers team lead, Binks, he said this.
तेरा बता दे भाई डिफेंस बता दे
सबसे नहीं डिफेंस नहीं कर रहा मैं कन्फेस कर रहा हूं ठीक है सबसे पहले जिसको लाइक ठीक है पहले मेरी
Please listen to me.
कि हां मैंने लाइक मैं इसलिए छुपा रहा था वो चीज मैंने एक दिन के लिए 3 मैचेस के लिए किया था बट मैं इसलिए छुपा रहा था क्योंकि ये
For just 1 day and 3 matches.
So he hadn't been using hacks in the tournament, but he had been using them before because he desperately wanted to get to a higher level in game.
Really?
Not exactly the endearing.
Not the best answer. The problem with this is you'll never really know. The only way that you can really tell is if you watch the gameplay back. You can figure this one out fairly easily if you just go watch the tournament. When you have that many people watching you, it's kind of hard to hide it, right? He said that in smaller tournaments like that, your fans are all going to watch you. So I think he would have been caught before this. And Valorant just realized he was probably cheating off stream, if I were to guess. So I don't think in a tournament he would risk that. Again, at one point he did have cheats, but I would guess that he wasn't using them for the tournament, but he got the ban hammer. I'm surprised that for tournaments they don't allow you to use an alternate account. Like I would think that they make you do a separate account for a tournament, but I don't know. I don't play in tournaments. So again, I think at one point he was cheating. I would be very surprised if he was cheating during the game and no one noticed before the semifinals. So that's what I think.
Despite the ban, he was back playing on a new account and for a new team soon after.
Well, yeah, he's still. So this
Well, I
is
guess
no.
once a
This is the problem, right? The once a cheater, always a cheater. This guy still was good enough to play on a pro team. You can check real fast after he came back in a month. Was he still a phenomenal player? Because then, okay, well that's different. If he's a phenomenal, I would be more on, be amazed his side if he came back after a month and he was like the worst player you've ever seen. To say once a cheater, always a cheater, I don't think that's true. Like, I'm an example of that. I never played at a pro level, but I cheated all the way through CSGO back before I started my YouTube channel. I haven't cheated since. You can go through my computer. Go ahead. I mean, I got a lot of other important information on here that can't be seen. But you know what I mean. I haven't used cheats since just because I've realized it's not fun to cheat. And also it doesn't mean that much to me to get to high ranks anymore. So once you hit like 25, you start realizing that there's more to life than hitting fucking Grandmaster and League or whatever. Don't even know if Grandmaster is in League. But yeah, again, the once a cheater, always a cheater quote doesn't really mean, it doesn't carry that much weight in the gaming community. I don't think once you get caught once, maybe you'll get caught a second time, but you're not going to keep doing it, especially not in tournaments.
Mecharazium. The more speedrunning I watch,
I love
the
a
more
good
respect
speedrun
I
cheat.
have for it. It
Oh,
takes
yeah.
hundreds, sometimes thousands
Takes
of
me
hours
first try.
to memorize an entire game and get the button presses and timings just right, all to complete it in the fastest time possible. Events like Games Done Quick showcase some of the best players in their game categories, inviting them to show off their skills in front of huge live and online audiences. It's a lot of pressure for speedrunners, which some just can't handle. Speedrunner Mecharazium, for example, was invited
Prince
to
of
the
Persia.
2022 Summer Games Done Quick event, speedrunning Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance remotely. The run itself seemed legitimate, but after a charity donation goal was met, he asked to play through the game's Blade Wolf DLC as well. But that's when Mecharazium raised some red flags.
It's actually pretty hard to get past this grad because he has an eyes on his leg.
Did you notice anything wrong with that clip? No. Now let's rewind and take a look at what he's doing with his hands here. So he's playing on a PC with his mouse in his right hand. If that's so, how does his avatar move around, a mouse-controlled action, while his right hand is in the air? Well, he claims he moved the mouse with his left hand. That's one heck of an odd choice, especially at a timed event.
I think
Spectators also noticed an audible lack of keyboard noises in the Blade Wolf segment. So, when he broke the record for the run by a whole 25 seconds, not everyone was convinced it was legit. Then in July, he came clean to one of SGDQ's enforcement heads. As they suspected, the run had been pre-recorded and spliced to
Oh,
It was an
gotcha. So he
ideal-
did a splice. Now, see, I was going to kind of end that argument real fast. So just so you guys know, I don't hide this, but notice how my shirt's backwards, right? If you were to see me in person, this is how I look, right? It's going to be, you guys are used to it, but this is how I look. So here's my right hand, right? I always do the reverse, so I don't know why. My brain just tells me that this is my good side, you know, if I flip horizontal. So I would make the argument that, yeah, like it looks like this is my mouse hand, which seems like my left, but this is my right hand. So I would have made that excuse. but I mean, they proved that he spliced it, which is different. But I was gonna say you can't really go by if one hand's off the ground because you don't off the keyboard because for all you guys know, he could have his video capture reversed.
Nadia.
All right, we did.
it comes to
I
being
did
accused
a bunch of videos on Nadia, mainly TikTok. We did a whole YouTube video. Actually, the one that made me the best video I've ever had on TikTok. I wish I remember the kid that was like. You could probably find it if you go to that Nadia video that I made. Some kid was like, "You should clip this out and put it to TikTok," and it was the best TikTok I ever done. It's at like 250,000 views right now. Likes, not even views. I think it's past 1 million likes, or 1 million views. Sorry, hold on. It's past 1 million views, but it has 250,000 likes. It's the best video I've ever put out on TikTok. So I went through all of this. I'm curious to see. I'm more so interested in what they have to say about it rather than what I say because I already said I don't think she's cheating. I think now, which is funny because she's popping back up again. Now I think people have kind of discovered that she has been, so I guess I was wrong. But I'm curious to see what they think. Remember, this video is 4 months old.
More. Yeah, shooting a wall in the same place someone is standing behind is pretty sus. It could indicate that she's using wall hacks. However, others have pointed out that an ammo crate was dropped from that direction, so she heard someone there.
Yeah, you could go
she
by
just
the
didn't
audio.
know where. That's reasonable, but what about here, where she was shadow banned? A protocol Activision enacts when it suspects a player of cheating and places them in special lobbies that are full of other suspected cheaters.
But how does she?
Yeah, I'm shadow banned.
Hacker hunters
do-
were quick
I
to
don't know how
claim
to
this
go by
was
that.
more undeniable proof she was cheating. However, others argued that she'd been playing from a few different locations in the days prior,
That is true.
mimicking the effects of a VPN, which might have triggered the ban.
That's
Whatever the
actually a very
case,
good point.
she
So, for those of you that don't know, one of the big accusations that Nadia got was what's called VPNing or geotagging. So, basically, what that means is you can use a VPN to get into what's called bot lobbies, which is basically like very, very new players, like bottom of the barrel. Not to be rude, but a lot of times they actually make lobbies that are kind of for like people who have more special needs. So just because that way they're not constantly getting destroyed by people. But the problem is the way that they determine it, it's not like you type in, oh, I have a disability, so I have to play in lower lobbies. It goes by certain ratios. So like if it's almost like ELO on steroids. It doesn't just go by your KD and win rate like most ELOs do. It also goes by movement type, buttons pressed. Like there's a lot of little factors to that. So what happens when you do VPNing and geocoding or net coding or geotagging, sorry. What happens is you break the kind of like the algorithm with ELO, and it makes it just almost like a 0 all the way down. Like if you were to have categories of zeros or categories of like KD, whatever. Imagine it was just 0 all the way down. And a lot of times these bot lobbies will happen. Nowadays, instead of doing just doing human players, they will throw in very well done bots, like very almost like NPC bots. So that way you can populate a server if there are kids that do have special needs and want to play Call of Duty at a lower level. You usually have to play a lot of games to get that point, honestly. Like, I think just based on movement and motor function, if you can move in a game, you're probably not going to be in those lobbies. That's why VPNing will get you down there if you know how to do it properly. And I think the VPNs have gotten so good that it can do it without you even really trying. So that's what she got a lot of shit for. People thought she was VPNing. And again, there's not enough evidence to disprove it, but she was in some lobbies where like she was getting 70 kills a game, which is unheard of, okay? I've been playing a long time. I've never seen 70 in a game from anyone.
The accusations are endless, and all supposed proof of her cheating is far from airtight. This would be enough to chase almost anyone off, but not Nadia. Instead, she's cleverly leaned right into it, uploading videos titled "I'm banned."
Yeah,
from Warzone.
I'll say this, and I think I said this when I originally did the videos like a year ago. It feels like she really did it the right way. I know it's not the best way, but very good player, played into it like, oh, I'm cheating, but there wasn't enough evidence to actually prove that she was cheating, and she capitalized on it. And now she's she's definitely probably one of the bigger, definitely Call of Duty streamers. I'd like to see where she is on the female Twitch board. I don't know, sub board or whatever. But yeah, she did it right. I won't lie to you. We can't really complain. So I hope she doesn't get. She didn't cheat. I didn't see enough info. I went through a couple. I didn't go deep. I'll tell you honestly. I didn't go deep. I just watched a couple clips. But from what I saw, I concluded that she wasn't cheating, but she must have been using a VPN and geotagging. I think. There's no way you're getting set. She had like a KD of 25. It was nuts. So again, that doesn't happen in Call of Duty. It just doesn't. So that's the only thing I might I'd be like, hey, I believe you're doing this. But again, I'm one of those people where if she straight up looked at me and told me, yeah, I've been cheating this whole time, I wouldn't tell anyone. I'd be like, oh, okay. It doesn't mean that much to me. So, yeah, I'm curious, but we'll never know.
Cheating for clout is one thing, but cheating to get your hands on prize money
That's
is
the
another
problem.
level of low. One that Turkish player and professional Twitch streamer Exaniz was willing to sink
Those
to back
Turks.
in December 2022. Competing in Call of Duty Warzone World Classic with a $100,000.
Yeah, so this is what I was saying before. The only time I really care about cheating is when there's money on the line. If there's money or if it's a tournament for some, that's when I care. That's when I'm like, okay, ban this guy, take him off everything, whatever. If it's a casual game, I just, okay, whatever, back out. Guy's an idiot, fucking new game. So this is when I'm going to go, hey, this guy's a problem.
He appeared to be aiming at opponents through walls. A telltale sign he probably had a wall hack active. During the tournament, viewers asked him to address these cheating allegations by proving he didn't have a secret monitor displaying all these hacks. Getting cocky, he opened up his display settings to prove he was only using 2 monitors, but a third was detected in the setup. He tried to explain it as a glitch, and so set up a monitor camera, which is where it all came crumbling down. During the tournament, he moved one of his monitors when an unusual-looking menu popped up.
Brother, check that.
Is it engine owning?
Ongelooflijk. Alienware.
Yep, there it is,
Cheats.
engine
Laat eens
owning.
cheats zien.
Initially, he tried to claim it was a display menu. Better excuse than pretending he'd flashed a picture.
Is it
that's for sure.
possible?
But the court of public opinion swiftly decided it was more likely cheat software.
I think they're right. I think, again, that's a tough one evidence-wise. But it's in a weird spot. I don't know. I think what kind of incriminated him was the fact that there was a third monitor there when he only shows 2. But I would also say that if he was cheating, you'd constantly see him going like, well, let me look at this monitor to see. Like, you can't just glance over and know where a guy is. That would be way too hard to do without anyone noticing. So unless he doesn't monitor capture at all, then like if he doesn't have a camera in front of him, I would wonder what he was looking at. So if he doesn't have a facial camera and he's looking at the screen and he's not looking anywhere else, then I'm like, okay, he's not cheating, and that was the computer menu that he saw. But if he's playing the game like this and he's looking and he's going through all of it and he's like shooting while looking away from the monitor, then I would go, okay, well, this guy's definitely cheating. Is it possible that it's the menu? I mean, the easiest way to figure that out is figuring out what monitor that was and then just going back and checking what the monitor menu is. Like, you can look that up online. But yeah, and I don't know. That I would say that there's a little too much information to say he's not cheating, and because it's a tournament, I would say don't risk it, just ban the guy from the tournament.
Know any more gamers who've been caught
Perfect.
cheating that
Oh my god, 5 done, 5 big ones. Always doing the Lord's work. Be amazed. Always doing the Lord's work. But another one done. Again, I wish I was better at giving my, I don't know why, but when I'm sitting in front of a computer, I can't give all my thoughts properly. But again, I don't think people should be crucified over cheating, but I do think when it comes to tournaments and rank, that's when it really matters, where I go, okay, well, now it's time to ban someone. I'm more surprised every time I watch these. I'm more surprised by how easy it's gotten nowadays. Like when I was cheating in CS:GO, I know I told the story, but like that's got to be almost 10 years ago now. It was hard to get cheats. It was like, hey, download this. You have to inject it. You have to change certain codes and files. It's a lot easier now. It's just, hey, here's $5. This is engine owning. Just turn stuff on. I don't think that cheating is going to get fixed. I'm going to be honest with you. I think for the next, especially now that AI is coming out, and I don't mean to be all doom and gloom, but I don't think this is going to get any better. But I do think that people are going to get better at finding the issues. Like finding cheaters is going to be a lot easier because I think it'll be more obvious. But yeah, I find video games fun. I don't play for tournaments or money or whatever, and that's why I don't care about cheaters. I understand that a lot of people will feel very differently about that. Like some people, again, I get it. I can understand if this is your livelihood, it really matters to you. But again, I don't see this problem being solved anytime soon. But we can only hold ourselves accountable for finding these people and giving them the punishment that they deserve. And again, my definition of deserving a punishment is probably pretty different from yours. But hopefully we can clean up this gaming community a little bit, because it is getting bad. I will not lie. So either way, be amazed. Great job for another 5th episode of Gamers Caught Cheating. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one and then stream. So, peace.